In 1867, Kansas State University held its first commencement. 3 women and 2 men graduated that year. As the first land-grant university in the nation, this fledgling university had a vision of providing innovative education to all people. That early vision has continued through to the present. With over 250 majors and a diverse student body, including students from all 50 states and more than 100 countries. Becoming one of the nation's top 50 public research universities by 2025 is today's vision for tomorrow. With academic programs among the best in the nation and professors who are leaders in their fields, Kansas State University is an international leader in teaching, learning, service, and research. Today's graduates join over 200,000 alumni who are proud to call K-State their alma mater. Congratulations, and thank you to all those who have supported them through their undergraduate experience at Kansas State University.
Good afternoon. I'm Don Boggs, Associate Dean of the College of Agriculture, and welcome to the College of Agriculture Fall Commencement Ceremony. I wish to thank our bagpiper, Terry Ferguson, a K-State alumnus, and our organist, Rachel Gross, graduate student in music, for the processional music. It is now my pleasure to introduce Savannah Piper, graduating senior in Animal Sciences and Industry from Shawnee, Kansas, to sing our national anthem. Throughout her time at K-State, Savannah has served as a research lab assistant in the Department of Entomology and earned the Faculty Excellence Award at the Kansas State University Undergraduate Research Symposium. She's also spent a majority of her time volunteering with local animal rescues. After graduation, Savannah plans to pursue a career in either animal science or entomology. Please stand as Savannah sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Savannah. Audience, you may now be seated. Hector Rojas, a graduating senior in Animal Sciences and Industry from Elgin, South Elgin, Illinois, has been selected to share reflections. While at K-State, Hector served as Vice President of the K-State Chapter of Minorities in Agricultural, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences, President of the Omega Delta Phi Fraternity, member and mentor in the Cargill Fellows Program, a Project Impact Scholar, and a Snyder Leadership Legacy Fellow. He was also honored as a College of Ag Student of the Month. Hector completed an internship with Cargill Turkey Production, LLC, served as a student research in the K-State College of Veterinary Medicine, and participated in a summer research opportunity at the University of Maryland, College Park. And he gained additional professional experience at Vet's First Choice. Hector will remain at K-State after graduation to pursue a master's degree in veterinary biomedical science through the College of Veterinary Medicine. Please join me in welcoming Hector Rojas to the podium. Hector?
Thank you, Dr. Boggs. I first want to say how grateful I am to have the honor to reflect on our class's time here at Kansas State. I, and I'm sure my fellow classmates, are all thankful to have our close friends, family, and faculty here supporting us today. Without your help, we wouldn't be able to be sitting here. I know for certain that everyone in the class of fall 2019 has a unique story that allowed them to graduate. My story is going to be different from the person next to me and the person next to you. And as we sit here victoriously from our individual accomplishments over the years, we need to remember that we are about to enter a realm of uncertainty. That will also be different for everyone, whether it be a job in the industry, pursuing higher education, or returning back to the family business. The next part of our lives will start after we leave this building today. And there's not a concrete answer as to how it'll go for each of us. But my goal in mentioning that isn't to scare anyone. It's to remind us that we've already proven we can accomplish the task of overcoming the unknown. I know I can guarantee we all had one thing in common here coming to K-State. We all faced uncertainty coming into our first semester at this university. And while we were happy and excited to get started as Wildcats, the truth is, the majority of us most likely had no idea what we were doing. I for sure didn't, and by talking to my classmates, dorm mates, and fellow students, I wasn't alone. Well, fast forward to today, and I believe that we can say we figured it out. We found a way to conquer the exhausting challenge of earning a college degree. So let's walk into the next chapter of our lives with fearlessness and confidence that we can tackle the challenges that our industry will present to us. We demonstrated that we can do something that seemed impossible. Just think back to the times where you had to learn concepts in class that you didn't even know existed before that lecture. Or those times where we had to meet what seemed like endless deadlines coupled with endless exams. At the time, we might have thought, how am I going to do it? But in the end, we rolled our way through it. Now, I've talked a lot about the hard times we faced, but I should also mention that it really wasn't all that bad. In fact, there were a lot more good times than there were bad times. We always, for some reason, just seem to forget the good times. From day one, we've made connections and relationships with each other, our faculty, and members in the industry that will last a lifetime. We made countless memories and learning experiences from extracurricular activities through student organizations, competition teams, and research opportunities. Some students even had the privilege to travel and gain hands-on valuable experiences through summer internships and even study abroad opportunities. And it would be a shame if I didn't mention the great times we had on Cat Days at Bill Snyder Family Stadium or our late nights on Morrow Street. In conclusion, we worked tirelessly to get here today, but we also made sure to have some fun along the way. Today is another day that we can add to the list of great memories we've had at Kansas State. But the hard work doesn't end here. The problems of tomorrow still have answers that have yet to be uncovered. And we must figure out how to do more with less, especially here in the agriculture industry. We need all hands on deck, and I mean everyone. And when I say that, it doesn't matter where you came from, what you look like, or what you believe in. I encourage everyone to continue to make impactful connections that wherever you end up, to bring an attitude that you're not showing up just to show up, but to make a difference that will empower the world. And I couldn't think of a better group of students to do that than a graduating class from the Kansas State College of Agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you, Hector, for sharing your reflections. As we begin the program, I will introduce the platform party. I would ask each of them to stand as they are introduced. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Beginning on my immediate left is Dr. Ernie Minton, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Director of K-State Research and Extension. Richard Myers, Kansas State University President. Dr. Charles Tabor, Kansas State University Provost and Senior Vice President. Dr. Christine Wilson, Professor of Agricultural Economics. Dr. Shannon Washburn, Assistant Dean of the College of Agriculture, and Dr. Zia Wiley, Assistant Dean in the College of Agriculture. If you'd be seated. In the second row on my left is Dr. Alan Featherstone, Head of the Department of Agricultural Economics, Dr. Jason Ellis, Head of the Department of Communications and Agricultural Education, Dr. Joe Harner, Head of the Department of Biological and Agricultural Engineering, Dr. Mickey Ransom, Interim Head of the Department of Agronomy, Dr. Steve Keeley, Interim Head of the Department of Horticulture and Natural Resources, Dr. Marty Draper, Associate Dean of Research and Graduate Programs and Director of Research at K-State Research and Extension, and Dr. Greg Hadley, Director, Extension and Applied Research. Continuing on my immediate right, Sandy Klein, Assistant Dean in the College of Agriculture, Gracie Danner, Graduating Senior in Agricultural Economics, Hector Rojas, Graduating Senior in Animal Sciences and Industry, and Savannah Piper, Graduating Senior in Animal Sciences and Industry. You may be seated. And in the second row, Dr. Mike Day, Head of the Department of Animal Sciences and Industry, Dr. Jeanette Thurston, Director of the Food Science Institute, Dr. Gordon Smith, Head of the Department of Grain Science and Industry, Dr. Brian McCornack, Interim Head of the Department of Entomology, Dr. Megan Kennelly, Interim Head of the Department of Plant Pathology, and Amy Button-Renz, President and CEO of K-State Alumni Association. Thank you all for being with us today. We're very pleased that you're all able to join us for the Fall 2019 College of Ag Commencement. Today we are assembled to honor an excellent group of agricultural graduates for their many accomplishments. However, we also wish to acknowledge some other very important people who made it possible for our graduates to succeed. the family members present today. We have many spouses and children, parents, siblings, grandparents, and great-grandparents with us today. Will all of the family members of our graduates please stand and let our graduates say thank you with a big round of applause. Thank you for being with us. At this time, we will recognize and congratulate those students who are graduating with university academic honors. Shannon Washburn, Assistant Dean for the College of Agriculture, will introduce our honor graduates. Dr. Washburn.
Students, as I read your names, please stand at your location and remain standing until all in your group have been introduced. Students graduating with an overall grade point average of 3.75 and above on at least 60 K-State credits are designated cum laude. The cum laude graduates are Tegan Bowers, William Buchanan, Mary Connor, Anna Haig, Jensen Herron, Seth Johnson, Alyssa McCormick, Zephaniah Smith, Hannah Taylor, Colby Trost. Please join me in congratulating our cum laude graduates. You may be seated. Graduates who have attained an overall grade point average of 3.85 or above on at least 60 K-State credits are designated magna cum laude. Our magna cum laude graduates are Molly Burtz, Nicole Kane, Jacob Sindrich, Jessica Hansen, Ira Kulot, Haobin Lin, Grant Pimple, Nicole Robin, and Molly Toth. Please join me in congratulating our magna cum laude graduates. You may be seated. Graduates who have attained an overall grade point average of 3.95 or above on at least 60 K-State credits are designated summa cum laude. Our summa cum laude graduates are Jenna Chance, Gracie Danner, Nathaniel Ryan, Bryn Swearingen, Meredy Weber, Mackenzie Weber, Amelia Welter. Please join me in congratulating our summa cum laude graduates. Please be seated. We have 4 graduates who have completed either the University Honors Program or the College of Agriculture Scholars Program. These graduates have completed a project under the supervision of a faculty member and have completed advanced coursework to earn the distinction of Honors or Scholars Program graduate. At this time, we will recognize these students. Please stand as I read your names. Graduates who completed the College of Agriculture Scholars Program include Kayla Haar, Clayton Sardella, and Bryn Swearingen. The graduate who completed the University Honors Program is Meredy Weber. You may be seated. Congratulations to all of our honors graduates. Dr. Boggs?
Thank you, Dr. Washburn. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Christine Wilson as our commencement speaker. Dr. Wilson is a professor of agricultural economics at Kansas State University. She graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in agribusiness from Kansas State before earning her Master's of Science and doctorate degrees in agricultural economics, also from Kansas State. Dr. Wilson first served as a grain marketing analyst for Koch Industries before returning to Kansas State as an extension economist. She joined the faculty at Purdue University in 2001 and transitioned back to K-State as the Assistant Dean of Academics for the College of Ag in 2008. Sorry about that. She has returned now to the Agricultural Economics faculty, where she serves as the undergraduate coordinator. Her teaching career has included classes in agricultural finance, agribusiness risk management, small business operations, marketing, policy analysis, and more. Her research interests focus on agricultural finance, agribusiness, and farm management issues. Dr. Wilson has been recognized as an outstanding educator through numerous honors and awards during her career, including the 2019 Presidential Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching, the 2019 College of Ag Alumni Board David Mugler Outstanding Teaching Award, and the 2019 Agriculture and Applied Economics Association Distinguished Teaching Award. We're very pleased to welcome at this time Dr. Christine Wilson to the podium for her remarks. Dr. Wilson.
Thank you, Dr. Boggs. It's truly an honor to be here today to deliver the commencement address. Over the years, I've been to many commencement ceremonies and have heard many commencement addresses. And guess what? To be honest, I can't remember any of them in specific detail. And many of them were given by truly great speakers that I know, some of them in the audience today. I think I can't remember them because I have been to so many, and if I'd only been to one ceremony, maybe I would remember more details. So the challenge today for me, as I see it, is to speak to the graduates and to find something meaningful for you that you might remember past the closing march up the stairs at the end of the ceremony today, past the party that you might be having later today, and definitely past your first day at your new job. And so this is what I'll try to do for you today. Commencement is a time of celebration and reflection, as it should be. You have worked hard and you have completed a great and important achievement. Your professors have challenged and prepared you with technical skills and knowledge in your specific agriculture, food, and natural resource sciences area. You have likely been involved in some clubs and organizations to build your leadership and teamwork skills, and you've had internships and jobs to build and develop your work ethic and build your resume. So graduates, let me ask you this. Do you feel prepared for the next step, for the next stage? Are you ready? All right, well, yes you are. And I was watching, and some of you did finally say yes, and some of you said no, and some of you just did not answer, just like in class. So I'm going to reinforce for you today that you are ready, because we've done our part to help get you there, and you've done your part. You've learned to think like an economist, to think like a plant, to think like a cow or another animal from several great professors, as well as learned many other skills. But there truly is more that you need, that we may not have pointed out directly or talked specifically about in labs and lectures or advising meetings, even though it was often there. What is it? Well, a recent APLU, that's the Association of Public Land Grant Universities study, tells us that employers have rising concerns about new graduates' ability to persist in a job, to persist in a challenging situation, as well as to find and use failure and challenges as growth opportunities and to deal with negative critiques and feedback. Now, I have often thought that we learn more from the things that we don't do perfectly or correctly than from those that we do, and from the situations that challenge us most. Maybe we remember them more. Maybe we are more satisfied when we reflect and are able to appreciate the situation and our ability to deal with it and move beyond it. This is what I want to talk briefly with you about today as you move to the next exciting stage in your life: choices, persistence, and resilience, because these are important for you in your future, and they are as important as the technical knowledge and skill that we talked openly about and taught you in the classroom. You have had experience with choices, resilience, and persistence here in the classroom, in the temporary jobs, and in the extracurricular activities through the challenging assignments, working with others, making decisions, and balancing all of your courses and other life activities, even if your professors and advisors did not directly point them and this out to you. That tough homework assignment or exam, the not having an answer key posted, that group assignment, that deadline, Those were there not only to develop your knowledge, but to also help you develop your decision-making, your persistence, and your resilience, other skills that your future employer requires in you. Choices and persistence and resilience. As an economist, I often comment that everything is about choices, about trade-offs, costs and benefits, decisions, the choices you make. Those of you who have been in one of my courses know this, right? Who here has heard or read Robert Fulghum's book, All I Really Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten? Some of the gems or aces about choices in that book are share, wash your hands, put things back, clean up your own mess, say you are sorry, etc. These are important acts to remember throughout life as you make choices. Now, another profound resource on choice, persistence, and resilience quite possibly might be something we might call teachings we've learned from country music songs. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. You've got to have an ace in the hole. God is great, beer is good, people are crazy. Get along, call your mom, make a friend, get along. And finally, an old classic that the graduates may not relate to, but I bet some of your parents do. Every gambler knows the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep, because every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. Graduates, every situation you are presented with as you move into the rest of your life is an opportunity for you. It will require choices and decisions and some persistence and resilience. Will you always have a hand like a royal flush or a straight flush or four of a kind? Probably not. Those are easier hands to play and easier choices. But how are you going to respond when you're dealt something like a 2-7 offsuit, which is the worst starting hand, or something in between, that probably requires harder choices and more work? That is persistence and resilience. This is what employers are looking for, and this is what you need to be able to do both in the professional and personal aspects of your life. Every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. It's what you choose to do with it that matters. Not what you start with, not where you start, but what you choose to do with it. The choices you make, the persistence and resilience that you choose to show. Now, do we have any sports fans here today? All right, I was pretty sure we would. You all know, even champions don't start out as champions, and they don't always win. It's what they learn and do with the losses and the poor shots or the poor performance or the non-perfect situations that move them forward and make them successful in their own realm. Choices and decisions, persistence and resilience. Now, do we have any NFL football fans here today? What about Chiefs fans? All right, now keep in mind, I'm a Chiefs fan as I tell you this next story. Chiefs fan. You probably know this. Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. There were only 7 rounds. He was the 199th overall pick, with 6 quarterbacks taken before him in the 2000 draft. Again, I'm not a Patriots fan nor a Tom Brady fan. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and of course, Patrick Mahomes are the quarterbacks that I would choose. But I do very much respect what Tom Brady has done and think it is a great example. He wasn't anyone's first choice. The expectations for him were not great and were not much, but he chose to work hard and prepare. Persistence and resilience and a strong work ethic. And when presented with the opportunity, Mr. Brady made the most of it. He had worked and he had prepared. Every hand is an opportunity. It's what you choose to do with it that matters. Now, one of my former professors and mentors often said, never underestimate how much you can compensate for your inadequacies with hard work. Choices, persistence, and resilience. These are factors and qualities that will benefit you in life and help you to be successful. These are important for your future employer. You came to college with a growth mindset. that you are going to learn and further develop your knowledge and skills to prepare you for your career. Now is your opportunity to move to the next stage. How will you go there? I encourage you to go now also with a growth mindset. Make everything an opportunity. Set goals. Handle any setbacks as opportunities. Have a good work ethic. Consider your choices and find your resilience and your persistence. After all, your ace in the hole is that you already made one great choice, and that you are not just any Wildcat, but you are a K-State College of Agriculture Wildcat. And so you truly do have tremendous opportunities available to you, and you can do anything you choose to do. So graduates, one last time, let me ask you this, and I want to hear your answer. Are you ready? Yes, yes you are. So go make us proud. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. See now why she wins lots of teaching awards, don't you? Gracie Danner, a graduating senior from West Liberty, Iowa, has been selected to deliver the graduate address. Gracie will graduate with a major in agricultural economics and a minor in international agriculture. During her time at K-State, she served as a College of Agricultural ambassador, Sigma Alpha Professional Agricultural Sorority Philanthropy Chair, academic mentor for the Staley School of Leadership Studies, a hands-on K-State mobile food pantry volunteer, and an Ag Policy Fellow. She has also been a member of the Kansas Corn Collegiate Academy, the Agricultural Economics and Business Club, and Collegiate Cattlewomen's Club. She participated in an international study tour of Ecuador, was a National FFA Organization American Star finalist and Beef Proficiency Award finalist, and was recently awarded the CoBank Outstanding Senior Award. Gracie has completed 2 internships with John Deere and has also gained professional experience with the Kansas State University Foundation. Next, Gracie will begin John Deere's Marketing and Customer Support Development Program on a customer and product support path. Please join me in welcoming Gracie Danner to the podium for the graduate address. Gracie.
Good afternoon, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. To my fellow graduates, the day that it seemed may never arrive is upon us. Our graduation is a momentous occasion for each of us. Today, we celebrate our accomplishments, perseverance, and the embarkment of a new journey. This day is certainly a moment for celebration, reflection, and appreciation. There were many individuals who helped us reach this milestone in our lives. Many of them are here today to celebrate with us, and many are not. Seek out those individuals, those who impacted us, encouraged us, consoled us, and pushed us beyond our own comforts, and developed us into the people we are today. They are our professors, advisors, family, friends, and mentors, and we owe each of them our deepest gratitude. Today marks a beginning of sorts, the day we have been dreaming of and dreading for years. From this juncture, each of us will form our own path, but we will share our time in the Kansas State University College of Agriculture. As the very first land-grant institution created under the Morrill Act of 1862, Kansas State University was charged with a distinct focus on science, research, and extension services, all with a unique emphasis on agriculture. This cohort of graduates in front of me is presented with the opportunity to serve our communities, state, and nation with the skills and knowledge we have developed in our time in the Kansas State College of Agriculture. Although today seems like the ultimate finish line, our greatest obstacles still lie ahead. Graduates, I challenge you to not take this moment to rest upon our laurels and fall into a routine of comfort and inaction. We live in a world of instant gratification. We get a notification on our phones the second our exam is graded. We click one button and a package from Amazon shows up on our doorstep within 2 days. We can text our friends and have plans assembled for the night within a matter of minutes. It is uncomfortable for us to wait and see the products of our labor. But the challenging issues that this group of individuals in front of me is tasked to tackle will not be solved in an instant, an hour, a day, a month, or even a year. As graduates of the College of Agriculture, we will face challenges in managing depleting resources, nourishing a growing population and middle class, promoting cooperation and compromise within policy, and creating the newest technologies to foster efficiency in our industry. Our patience and perseverance now will pay dividends in the future as we seek solutions to these nuanced dilemmas. Each person who has walked the halls of this university, especially in those of the College of Ag, knows that there is something remarkably special about this place. It is truly an indescribable feeling, one that I couldn't describe in the confines of our time here today, or even come close to doing justice, even with infinite time. But a few words come to mind: home, family, belonging, compassion. A sense of welcome and support radiates from the people here. Graduates, you all know that feeling that I'm talking about. It's the feeling that made us choose K-State, find our home and find our people here, and made us so fond of our dear alma mater. I implore each of you to grasp that feeling, hold on to it, and spread it wherever you may go. In whichever towns and cities you end up in, the people you meet along your journey, and in every single one of your words and interactions, show the world a piece of the power and kindness of this place, and know that you will always have your colleagues from the Kansas State University College of Agriculture in your circle. Congratulations, class of 2019. I'm so excited to see what this group of graduates accomplishes together.
She's not that tall. She's got heels like that on, so. Thank you, Gracie. Before we proceed to the degree ceremony, we are pleased to have Amy Button-Renz, President and CEO of the K-State Alumni Association, bring special greetings on behalf of the K-State Alumni Association. Amy?
Good afternoon. I'm excited to join you today with the honor of being the first person to welcome you into the alumni family of Kansas State University and the K-State Alumni Association. We are excited to celebrate with you and those who have supported you along this journey. As an alumnus, you now join a K-State network of more than 280,000 graduates and friends. The Alumni Association will be your link to your alma mater for life. Our mission at the Alumni Association is to lead and inspire lifelong involvement that will benefit Kansas State University and all members of our Wildcat community. Our core values guide us in our mission to keep you connected with K-State. Our most important value is link. The Alumni Association provides the lifelong link that alumni depend on to remain connected. You can stay in touch through hundreds of alumni activities held on campus, around the country, and internationally. We want to keep in touch with you and be of service to you no matter where you live. Another value is tradition. You will likely celebrate a few traditions this weekend as you sing the alma mater or take KSU photos at your favorite spot on campus. You may also have fond memories of doing the Wabash at a K-State sports event or rubbing the nose of the bronze Wildcat statue at the Alumni Center for good luck on a test or to ensure a Wildcat victory. As the keepers of tradition, we also hope you will have a chance to visit the Alumni Center to see the memorabilia of many K-State traditions that we have on display. The final value I'd like to talk about today is purple. For K-Staters, it's more than a color. It's a symbol of pride, connection, and family. When you see someone in purple, wearing a K-State class ring or with a PowerCat license plate on the back of their vehicle, you will feel that same sense of family. In recognition of your graduation, the College of Agriculture and the K-State Alumni Association are providing you with a complimentary one-year membership to the Alumni Association. We hope you will enjoy the membership benefits and continue to be an active member after your first year. Your membership is important to us and your university. K-State alumni are among the most loyal in the nation. In fact, our membership ranks #1 in the Big 12 for the percentage of graduates who are members. That loyalty is shared by generations of K-Staters who have the same passion for K-State that you feel today as you receive your degree from one of the finest universities in the nation. The Alumni Association is also pleased to present you today with an exclusive alumni business card holder. As you go through life and your titles and addresses change, please be sure to keep us updated. We want to make sure you are always connected to your K-State family. Congratulations and go Cats!
Thank you, Amy. Graduates and attendees, we have a few additional announcements for the degree ceremony. The College of Agriculture is pleased to provide a complimentary 5x7 professional photograph of your graduation. One photo will be taken on the stage and a second photo will be taken by the backdrop at the rear of the seating area. Please pause and turn toward the camera to make sure you're ready for your photo. Family members, if you want to take pictures, you may do so from behind the roped areas around the edge of the floor seating. Please refer to the commencement program on pages 42 to 43 for the order in which the graduates will be recognized. Graduates majoring in agribusiness through wildlife and outdoor enterprise management are seated on the west side and will cross from the stage from west to east. The remaining graduates are seated on the east side and will cross the stage from east to west. Please prepare for your photo just before your graduate approaches the stage and then return to your seat so others can access the area. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ernie Minton, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Director of K-State Research and Extension, and invite him to the podium for the conferral of degrees. Dean Minton.
Thank you, Dr. Boggs. Will all graduates now please rise for the conferral of degrees? By the authority of the people of Kansas and the Kansas Board of Regents, and upon recommendation by the faculty and upon completion of all degree requirements, I am pleased to confer upon you your respective degrees you have earned at Kansas State University. Graduates, please move your tassels to the left side of your mortarboard. You may now be seated. At this time, college administration will prepare for diploma cover presentations. The department heads will present diploma covers to each graduate as they cross the stage. I also now invite K-State President Richard Myers and Provost Charles Tabor to join me in congratulating the graduates as they cross the stage.
Thank you, Dean Minton. I will now introduce the graduates for individual recognition on the stage and presentation of diploma covers. We will proceed in order by major as listed in your program on pages 42 and 43, as Dr. Boggs indicated. I would like to thank our faculty marshals, Drs. Elizabeth Yeager, Anita Dilley, Chad Miller, Dave Nichols, Julia Dohan, and Randy Phoebus, who will assist in directing you to and from the stage. It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Alan Featherstone, head of the Department of Agricultural Economics, who will present diploma covers to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness and the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Agricultural Economics. Adam Ray Barbie. Jenner Lane Birch. Jenna Marie Crampton. Riley Douglas Eck. Sydney K. Hedrick. Brock David Hewitt. Blake Jeffrey Holmes. Jacob Hunter Hazelton. Reginald Jameson Cope. Kyle Thomas Kramer. Michael David Lamach. Mark Clinton Lampley. Hao Bean Lin. Derek McClure. Caleb Andrew Mashinsky. Tristan David Parks. Blake Stanford Richmeyer. Kyler Johnson Sager. Skylar Anthony Stevens. Joshua Allen Stuckey. Cody Dylan Walters. We will now recognize graduates with a major in agricultural economics. William Daniel Buchanan. Jacqueline Nicole Clausen. Gracie Ellen Danner. Christian Douglas Fisher. Bryn Lenore Swearingen. Hannah Marie Taylor. I am pleased to introduce Dr. Jason Ellis, head of the Department of Communications and Agricultural Education, who will present diploma covers to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with majors in Agricultural Communications and Journalism and Agricultural Education. Graduates with a major in Agricultural Communications and Journalism include Molly Elizabeth Burtz, Caitlin Cooper Vicker, receiving a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Agricultural Education, Nicole Leanna Kane. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Joe Harner, head of the Department of Biological and Agricultural Engineering, who will present to graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Agricultural Technology Management. Cade Douglas Ames. Bryce Robert Brummett. Matthew Brian Loomis. Gage Truman Mortimer. Evan Michael Ray. Clayton Dean Schroer. Brett John Seiler. Chandler Travis Zaltanko. Next, Dr. Mickey Ransom, interim head of the Department of Agronomy, will present to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in agronomy. Nicholas Christopher Dieters. Brenton Robert Edwards. Michaela Lauren Falk. Paul Glover. Bryce Joseph Cook. Connor William Pierce. Tyler Allen Popelka. Emma Kate Purvis. Nathaniel Walter Ryan. Daniel Lee Stitch. Colby Conrad Trost. Megan Elizabeth Workman. Rebecca Zack. Next, Dr. Steve Keeley, Interim Head of the Department of Horticulture and Natural Resources, will present to graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science degree in Agriculture with majors in Horticulture, Park Management and Conservation, and Wildlife and Outdoor Enterprise Management. Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, Mary Alice Connor. Landon Forkey. Curtis Lee Hill. Marcus Taylor Hill. Kenneth Coleman Mulch. Shayalta Arlene Knopf. Megan Schroeder. Robert Stephen Selman. Tyler Stelter. Samuel Stephen Sumter. Receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Park Management and Conservation, Robert Francis Kea. Tristan Michael Larock. Jacob Robert Linders. Savannah Grace Noble. Receiving a Bachelor of Science in Wildlife and Outdoor Enterprise Management, Anna Rose Haig. Isaac Douglas Harvey. Derek Scott McKeever. James Lighton Noreen. Jared Michael Peterson. Zachary Wolfington Porterfield. Mason Sheets. Jordan Alyssa Wooderson. We will now pause to change sides and introduce the remaining graduates, starting with graduates in Animal Sciences and Industry.
It is now my privilege to introduce Dr. Mike Day, Head of the Department of Animal Sciences and Industry, who will present to graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with majors in Animal Sciences and Industry and Veterinary Medicine. Bailey Joe Allen. Colton Wyatt Abishan. Kiana Beret. Ariadna Jocelyn Baltazar. Nicole Christine Bannock. Tegan Will Bowers. Kelsey Lynn Bradford. Anna Linnea Colomino. Jenna Austin Chance. Hannah Sing Yi Chu. Shelby Lynn Crampton. Kara Michelle Cutshaw. Justina Elizabeth Davis. Devin Dieters. Sam William Dickinson. Caitlin Ann Elizabeth Dinkle. Melissa Shannon Edloff. Erin Mackenzie Flahive. Bailey Marie Fletcher. Michaela Lynn Freeman. Hannah Marie Frobos. Chandler Elizabeth Hansen. Jessica Marie Hansen. Robert Carl Harrell. Kayla Marie Haar. Shannon Nicole Heisler. Caroline Ann Henry. Jensen Taylor Heron. Catherine Lynn Horling. Megan Lee Urach. Seth Henry Johnson. Kayla Michael Kropa. Trey Aaron Lingvart. Erin Nicole Mance. Perla Marquez. Alyssa K. McCormick. Brooke Emily McNichol. Robert James Mollett. Arthur Robert Murray IV. Grant Leon Pimple. Savannah Noel Piper. Hector Anthony Rojas. Amanda Marie Roth. Corey Garrett Olchin. Kylie Perez. Clayton Adam Sardella. Grace Catherine Schneider. Haley Mae Sharp. Annalicia Jo Swanson. Molly Margaret Toth. Dayana Valero. Caleb Cole Volkman. Annalie Whittam. Carly Joy Williams. Jace Robert Zeit. Next, Dr. Jeanette Thurston, Director of the Food Science Institute, will present to the graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Food Science and Industry. Banani Kodzo Ava. Cooper Joseph Bethel. Jacob Anthony Sinrich. Savannah Sue Cook. Jason Eric Clam. Reba Kate Kreider. Erica Sharon Kingren. Jamie Marie Peterson. Gentry Claire Shearer. Joshua Adam Smothers. Meredy Ann Weber. Wangi Wei. Amelia Ann Welter. Next, Dr. Gordon Smith, head of the Department of Grain Science and Industry, will present to graduates receiving Bachelor of Science degrees in Bakery Science and Management, Feed Science and Management, and Milling Science and Management. We will begin with our students in Bakery Science and Management. Casey Annette Campbell. Taylor Lynn Cotton. Sarah Janae Maddock. Emily Ann Stengel. Mackenzie Lee Weber. Next are our graduates in Feed Science and Management. Avery Anna Hines. Andriana Morgan Ogles. Next are graduates in Milling Science and Management. Donald Francis Jacobson. David Joseph Kaufman. Kyle Thomas Kimmy. Christine Elizabeth Odom. Jacob Tyler Ramsey. Dr. Boggs, that concludes our diploma presentations.
Let's give it up for our 2019 fall graduates. Graduates, I want to remind you, commencement is not about the end, but rather the beginning of new careers, for some of you, new families, and for all of you, a new stage in your lives. You can be proud to be a graduate of Kansas State, the first land-grant university in the nation. But we do have a few expectations yet for you as a K-State Ag alum. First, we expect you to capitalize on your education and the training you have received to make valuable contributions in your careers and to your professions, as well as to continue your professional development as a lifelong learner. Secondly, we expect you to continue the outstanding record of citizenship, philanthropy, and service that you have established at K-State by becoming outstanding members of the communities to which you relocate, to either start your careers or to continue your schooling. Get involved and be engaged in community activities. They need your talents and they need your leadership skills. Finally, what truly makes K-State College of Ag great is the involvement and expectations of our alumni. Thus, we expect you to keep bleeding purple, to stay involved with K-State, and to continue to challenge us to be the best we can be. I'm confident that I speak for all of the faculty, staff, and administrators when I say that it has truly been our privilege to contribute to your education, be a part of your lives these last few years. We're very proud of you, and we wish you the very best. Everyone, please, once again, help me congratulate our 2019 fall graduates. Thanks to all of you for participating in this very special occasion for our graduates. We ask that you please remain seated for the formal recessional. The graduates will follow the stage party to the rear of the floor seating area and up the far north stairs to the concourse. We ask that families then exit immediately behind your section and meet the new graduates upstairs on the concourse. This will help us clear the floor for the next ceremony that follows. Thank you once again to our musicians for sharing your musical talents, and to Hector Rojas, Dr. Christine Wilson, and Gracie Danner for speaking at our ceremony today. Again, congratulations and best wishes to the graduates. For our adjournment, would everyone please rise and join in as Savannah Piper leads us in singing the K-State Alma Mater. Savannah?